What's up, everyone? I'm Alexander, and my mission is to mentor minds, master markets, and manifest miracles in the lives of my clients. And here at NeuroNinja, we focus on creative freelancers, solopreneurs, and people who just like psychology. And last time, we talked about what happens in our brains when we start to feel overwhelmed or even fearful of not being able to achieve our goals. Basically, the metaphorical red alert siren in the building is in our brain just blaring out of control. And today, we're going to talk about how to beat that fear and overcome the procrastination that comes with it, especially useful for us freelancers and entrepreneurs. So let's get started. Picture this. It's late at night, and you're sitting at your desk. The glow of your computer is the only light in the room. There's a task at hand, one that's been lingering for days, maybe even weeks. We've all been there, haven't we? That moment where procrastination isn't just a delay, but a reflection of something deeper. Well, according to Pure Steel, procrastination sometimes goes beyond the "I'll do it later" mentality. It's when we push away tasks, fully aware of the looming consequences. And as a freelancer or entrepreneur, you'll notice just how particularly devastating this can be. Because this isn't just about putting off a task. It's about the weight of your dreams and ambitions resting on your shoulder. Each delay, each moment of avoidance isn't just a pause in work. It's a tug at your self-confidence, a whisper questioning, am I really good enough? It's in these moments, in the stillness of doubt and fear, where procrastination becomes more than just a habit. It transforms into a silent battle against our own aspirations. But procrastination can be more than just doing something we don't want to do. It can also be something else. It can even be the fear of failure. Imagine standing on the edge of a high dive, the water below seeming miles away. That fear, that hesitation, it can be paralyzing sometimes. It's not just the height that's daunting, because just like jumping into our passions and dreams, it's the leap into the unknown that gets us. This fear, intertwined with temporal discounting, leads us to delay tasks, believing that they'll somehow be less intimidating in the future. But just know that on the other end of that fear lies the person that you want to be and the life that you want to live. So having talked about all that, let's dive into beating both aspects of procrastination. Going back to Steele's insightful study, it helps us understand something often misunderstood, something that only adds to our worries. This same something that goes back to when we were in school, something we've all gotten in trouble for, something called procrastination. And while sometimes definitely true, at least for me in school, procrastination isn't always just being lazy. It's intricately tied to how we interact with tasks we find mundane or beyond where we think our limits are. Steele's study illuminates this very dynamic. The more time we allow before a deadline, the more our minds find space to wander and to delay. And the more excuses we allow ourselves to have, like my favorite one. Due tomorrow? Due tomorrow. Which brings us to our next study by Dan Ariely and Klaus fuck it, it's on the screen, who researched the concept of self-imposed deadlines. Which, if you think about it, it only makes sense that if we push off a deadline, that it would help to create our own deadlines for tasks, right? Well, the answer is a bit more nuanced than that. Yes, they help in the sense that our personal deadlines can steer us away from the siren's call of procrastination. But there's a catch. Unfortunately, both Klaus and Ariely found that they don't quite hold the power of externally imposed deadlines. Which, breaking that down, it essentially means that when you tell yourself that you're going to complete X task by Y day, it's not nearly as powerful as someone else telling you to complete X task by Y day. Which is why it's so important, especially for us solo entrepreneurs and freelancers, to get an accountability buddy. Which, side note, I shouldn't really be telling you this next part, but it's kind of the truth. That's like 80% of a life coach's job. 80% of my job. Because when you hire me to be your life coach, yes, I bring with me a lot of information, passion, exercises, and golden nuggets of wisdom that will help you. But my main focus is to be the strict teacher you had in school and to hold you accountable to your own goals, dreams, and aspirations that you want for your life. Which basically said means it becomes my job to make you succeed at what you're trying to accomplish. And as Ariely and Klaus, sorry I'm not pronouncing that last name, discovered in their research, it makes a huge difference. And tackling the procrastination beast is no small feat, as we all know. But it's entirely possible with the correct approach. So having teased their research a little bit, let's get to the tips. First tip. The first of which is by using the same concept of learning or memorizing lots of stuff at once, a process called chunking. For example, imagine you're working on a big project. Instead of seeing it as some big monolithic task, break it down. You can break it down into manageable steps by either hours, days, months, whatever works best for you and your project. Which, here's an example using this very video. First, I looked up bunch of different studies that were related to both fear and procrastination that I wanted to integrate into this video. Basically trying to see what would be useful for today's topic, and this part took the longest. After which, I needed an overall layout of how I wanted the video to go with the information that I had. Then I worked to create the first draft of the video script, and finally, in the last step, I added all the finishing touches, which includes recording my voice for this video. Overall, I gave myself a deadline of 1 day for the first step, the research. Then on the second day, I got the layout and the first draft done within a few hours, and after that, I came back to add in all the finishing touches on the third day. Setting specific deadlines for each of these smaller tasks helps in forcing you to focus on something specific and easy to manage. It's not just about marking a date on the calendar, like X task by Y day. It's about creating a sense of urgency and commitment. Think about preparing for an important meeting. You plan each step leading up to it to ensure you're ready. And I'll share a link to a blog video down below about building the discipline to stick to your goals, by the way. And that's for the first tip, chunking. Now, on to the second tip, finding your most productive time, which is absolutely crucial. For example, are you a morning person who thrives when the first light hits, or are you a night owl, finding your stride when the world quiets down? Schedule your tasks accordingly. Using myself as an example, I prefer to begin my work right around noon or a little later, and hit my stride just before and into the evening. But that's just me. Something you can do that will help you figure out which one is best for you is focusing on when you feel best and most energized and motivated during the day. But that's for the second tip. Now, let's get to the third, which is celebrating your progress, no matter how small or even if it sounds a little silly, which, to be honest, it kind of did to me at first. As an example, have you finished drafting that challenging email? Reward yourself with a short walk or a moment of your favorite music. The first idea is about creating a positive feedback loop for your accomplishments. But for two, this not only creates a positive feedback loop in your brain, but it also taps into a fascinating physiological phenomenon known as the winner effect. One study by Bernhardt L. Trout and Michael J.P. Man, these names, I swear, it's on your screen, showed that winning in competitive situations can significantly boost testosterone levels, unlike me pronouncing names. And unlike pronouncing that guy's name, this is a lot easier to understand. So, this hormonal surge enhances confidence, motivation, and competitiveness. And by celebrating your small victories, you're not just feeling good mentally, you're biologically reinforcing yourself to succeed more. Like building success on top of more success, just like the guy on your screen right now. It may seem silly to say, but celebrating whenever you do something good will make you want to do more. It'll make you feel like you need to keep doing more. In short, it's like rocket fuel to your motivation. And like a paraphrase quote I like from Zig Ziglar, motivation is like bathing. You need it daily. But remember, if navigating through the maze of procrastination feels overwhelming, it could be the perfect time to consider partnering with a life coach. And as someone dedicated to guiding and supporting personal and professional development, I can help you craft a plan that's as unique as you are. Together, we'll break down your goals into achievable steps, and crucially, I'll be there to keep you accountable. Together, we can transform your aspirations into attainable realities. But have you ever faced your own metaphorical high dive? Have you ever hesitated, heart pounding, unsure if you could make the leap? I'm curious to hear about your experiences. How did you overcome this fear? Or are you still waiting for that push? Share your story in the comments. Let's inspire each other to take that leap. And remember, as your potential life coach, I'm here to stand by your side, offering the support and guidance you need to confidently jump into your goals and dreams. But that's going to do it for this video. So until next time, we're just going to play a game of rock, paper, scissors. And if you lose, you have to like and subscribe. I don't make the rules. I just steal them. All right, ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I chose paper, which means if you chose rock, you have to like and subscribe. But that's going to do it for this video, so I'll see you in the next one. And you can always check out the previous one where we talked about what's happening inside the brain when fear kind of takes over, the so-called red alert in our brain. Till then, take care.